First meeting of July in the Eastern Cape this Friday. Looking forward to it. And we start off at 12:30 with the Welcome to Fairview Maiden Juvenile Plate over the mile trip. This is the first time that the youngsters will be going as far as a mile, so I'm sure we'll see a couple of them start to find their stride, those that want a bit further. My numbers here, 5, 7 and 1. I am leading with the Cape Raider, De Capo, to beat the likes of number 7, Anything for Love, having her first local run, and number 1, Aquaholic, out of the Tara Lanyard. Now, De Capo's only got the one run to his name, but it was a useful one when finishing third in the Western Cape behind the likes of Final Move, and he takes quite a step up in trip here, his debut run having been over 1,000 metres, but breeding definitely suggests it will suit, and off such a positive start, he makes a lot of appeal now in Port Elizabeth. Number 7, Anything for Love, also makes her way from the Western Cape. Not a raider though, she does race for the yard of Gavin Smith. Having her first start, she takes on male opposition here in Port Elizabeth, but her Western Cape form is fair and she should be in the mix. Number 1, Aquaholic, is coming along the right way. He's placed in his most recent starts. The yard do think this is the type of trip he's looking for and do expect him to be able to place again. On to race 2, Maiden Juvenile Plate, this though over the 1,200 metre trip. 4, 1 and 6 are my numbers. Number 4 is a VV Power out of the Gavin Smith yard. Having his third start, he showed really positive improvement from the first run to second. First run was a fair run, but the second run was a lot better, and he rounded up in second spot behind Zach Pack Assassin that day. Third time looks like it could be the charm for this fellow. A horse that can improve is number 1, Crystal City. He had his debut run last time on, not at all disgraced. He was green. The yard feel he has come on and he can be competitive for the win. On paper, he does have a few lengths to find to the likes of Vivi Power, whom he met behind Zach Pack Assassin last time out. But just remember, youngsters can come on in leaps and bounds, and collateral form is not always the best to go with here because they can't really ascertain that type of improvement. So expect much more from Crystal City, and he could throw his hat in the ring for a chance at the win. Number 6, Bobbity Boo, Great Britain filly, takes on male opposition here, but she's another that showed good improvement from first run to second, and having rounded up in second spot behind Chocolate Ruffles last time out, may be up against male opposition here, but certainly can't be overlooked. Race 3 is a maiden plate for fillies and mares over the 1,200 metre trip. 1, 6 and 4 are my selections. Number 1 is Time Off. She races out of the Cliffy Miller yard, and she has been thereabouts in her most recent starts, 4th behind Kiara, and last time out 2nd behind After the Storm, her stable companion, who was the favourite that day. She was doing her best work late over 1,000 metres. Here she's up to 1,200, should love that extra furlong, and I do think she's got a good shot at the win. As far as horses to give her a challenge, 6 and 4 are stable companions out of the Fairview yard, starting with Derecho. Her form really does speak for itself. She's been there and thereabouts in most of her starts and has actually gotten closer in her latest, fitted with blinkers, so expect another competitive run from her. African Hoopu had her first run last time out. Although well beaten, she did place. The yard feels she has come on and she can get closer. Race 4 of the 1,200 metre trip is a merit rated 90 handicap. 2, 4 and 3 are my first 3 selections. I start with Aqua Delta out of the Duncan Mackenzie yard. This fellow has really proven to be a force to be reckoned with over 1,200 in Port Elizabeth, and though until recently he did look at best on poly, some of his better performances on grass of late are certainly efforts to take note of. Most definitely his last 2 runs, when finishing 4th behind the very useful Global Drummer, who we see a bit later in action on the day, and last time out 2nd behind the top sprinting filly World Radar, going down only half a length that day over course and distance. I do think that he can really make a play for the win here. Has to respect the likes of number 4 Broadside. With consideration, he's a very difficult horse to ride. He always seems to get there too late, flying late, but always finding 1 or 2 to beat him, and that is a concern. Nevertheless, he is still holding form and he is earning regularly, and he is certainly in with a shot at victory. Number 3, Too Fat to Fly, Bezrin Mare. She was 6th last time out behind Sovereign Secret in a conditions plate. She had it all to do at the weights that day, and I do think that she'll be better off here as far as the weights are concerned in the handicap, and stepping back and trip, no problem whatsoever. It is in her scope, judging on her first run where she's a good 3rd behind Santa Teresa. She's definitely a capable sort, and she can also make her presence felt here. Pinnacle Stakes, race 5 over 2,000 meters. This is a lovely field. Catching the eye for me first off, as I'm sure many others do, is number 1, Colorado Springs, but by no means write the rest of the field off. I think there's cases to be made for a good many here, and my next 2 selections will be number 2, Miss Orange, and number 6, First Street. Starting with my pick though, number 1, Colorado Springs. Her form really is self-explanatory. She's not missed the first 2 in her 11 starts with 4 wins and 7 seconds. And she's doing a phenomenal job at this point in time. Her run last time out behind Yegamoon, when going down only a length and a quarter in the East Cape Derby, was a really, really solid effort. And although top weight here, she is joint best weighted as well. And I do think she's going to really be, she is the horse to beat. Her stable companion number 2, Miss Orange, definitely not to be overlooked. Last time out, she did try quite a bit further, 3,200 in the PE Gold Cup. She found it a stretch, but if you look at her form prior to that, you just can't knock her. She was in fantastic form, and you've got to feel cutting back and trip here. You're going to see her bounce back to best, and very much a horse to respect. Likewise for number 6, First Street. She's really found her form since fitted with the blinkers. She's come away a winner in both of her most recent starts, and as a result, unfortunately, has leapt up in the ratings, but being the conditions of the race here being a Pinnacle Stakes, she does come in as relatively well weighted, and in her favour, I do think we'll see her be competitive again. Race 6 is a merit-rated 100 handicap over the 1,400 metre trip. 1, 4 and 3 are my numbers. Global Drummer for me really does stand out here. Yes, he is once again taking on older, and yes, he does have top weight as a 3-year-old, but it's the right time of year for the 3-year-olds. They are really just hinging a month or 2 away from turning 4. He's really strengthening up well, and running off the back of a double looks well set to record his 9th career victory. He is most definitely a talented individual, and without doubt the horse to beat. As far as 2nd and 3rd are concerned, number 4, Kimberly Star, Ideal World Gelding, always gives of his best. He'll be in the shake-up. And Global Drummer's stable companion number 3, the Highwayman, useful front runner, and a horse that over this course and distance is able to get a look in as well. Our feature of the day is for the youngsters. It's the Champion Juvenile Cup for the 2-year-olds, and will be run over 1,400 meters. Here I'm being patriotic. I'm going with the PE horse number 5, Whatever Next, to beat Cape Raider number 1, Captain's Knot, and then number 6, Sound Check. Starting with Whatever Next. He was beaten by Greenness on debut, but has not since looked back, and has won all 3 of his next 3 starts, which include the listed features, the East Cape Nursery, and of course last time out the Dahlia Plate. So in really good form at the moment. He looks on song to round up yet another listed victory, and yeah, let's hope that the Water Winter Colt can get it right. He does have to beat the likes of the Cape Raider, number 1, Captain's Knot, racing out of the Snaith Yard. He's also, although lightly raced, in good form, a winner on debut. Last time out, 4th behind Pomp and Power. That day, Pomp and Power recorded his 2nd win and went on to win a Grade 3 title in his next Langeman. So that is a really nice form line. Also, that run was over 1,500, which puts no doubt about the 1,400 meter trip here. So Captain's Knot most definitely a contender. Number 6 is Sound Check, and she might be a filly against some very useful male opposition, but I do think she's another capable sort in the lineup, and Sound Check most definitely a horse for me that can find the frame. Race 8 is the last of the afternoon. We stay over the 1,400 meter trip for a merit-rated 82 handicap. 1, 13 and 8 are my horses of interest. Celtilus, definitely a horse that stands out here. In his penultimate, took on decent opposition when running 3rd behind Global Drummer. Last time out, perhaps a bit disappointing in that he jumped favourite and found his stable companion to beat him, but nonetheless he held form in 3rd behind Oscar Wilde, and I do think he's got a chance to redeem himself here. Number 13, Atkinson Grimshaw, is holding form well, and I do think we'll see more of this fellow here. 2nd behind Oscar Wilde. He actually beat Celtilus home that day, but does come in a little bit with a little bit more to do at the weight. So there's really not much between Celtilus and Atkinson Grimshaw. As far as that 3rd spot is concerned, I have gone with number 8, that is Moon Game. Moon Game registered his 2nd career win in his penultimate start, followed up well with a 4th last time out, both those runs being over course and distance, to which he's very well suited. I think we'll see more of him here. get ready for the PA to start at 1:05 on Friday in the second race, which is the maiden juvenile plate over 1200 meters. Here, 2 horses go in for me. Number 1, Crystal City, and 4, VV Power. I do think these 2 ran well enough, both behind Zach Pack Assassin last time out, to be meeting each other again and vie for the win. We should see them both together at the line. Race 3, another 2 horses, 1 and 6. This will be Time Off and Derecho. I really think that Time Off ran a good second to her stable companion and favourite last time out, over a little bit shorter, doing her best work late. An extra furlong will be in her favour. And Derecho, her form is self-explanatory. She's knocking, and one of these days she's going to pop up. I do think she should be in the mix again. PA numbers for race 4, which is leg 3, 2 and 4, Aqua Delta, looking for a big run from this fellow. He's proven to love the 1200 meter trip, and I do think we're going to see a big effort from him. Likewise, number 4, Broadside, in strong form and does look to be a very strong contender. Second in his penultimate, a quarter of a length of What a Winner, and second again last time out, only half a length of Stranger Danger. He really is holding competitive form. Race 5, another 2 horses, 1 and 2, Colorado Springs and Miss Orange, stable companions, both in good form, and both horses that have proven themselves over these types of trips. I do think they are going to be the main players in race 5. Race 6, I go with the banker, number 1, Global Drummer. He really is a classy individual, and every time he steps out, he just keeps proving that. I think this is going to be another one of those cases, and he is the horse to beat. In race 7, which is our feature of the afternoon, the Champion Juvenile Cup, I go in with 3 horses, 1, 5 and 6. It's a lovely field, this. Really 6 deserving horses in the lineup here, and I do think it's going to be one of the more exciting races on the card. All of Captain's Knot, the Cape Raider, as well as the stable companions number 5, Whatever Next, and number 6, Sound Check, go in for my PA. Last of the afternoon, race 8, I also include 3 horses here, and they will be number 1, Saltless, 13, Atkinson Grimshaw, really not much between those 2, and number 8, Moon Game. We step back to race 3 to get the pick 6 underway, and here to the PA numbers of 1 and 6, which are Time Off and Derecho, I just add in the 1 filly, number 4, African Hoopu. There are a handful of first timers, but should any of my selections run second, you still go through safely. So I do think those 3 horses will suffice. On to the second leg of the pick 6, 2 and 4, PA numbers, most definite inclusions, along with the likes of number 3, Too Fat to Fly. She's given 2 fair accounts of herself in the Eastern Cape so far, and she's certainly not without chance at finding the winner's box here. On we go to race 5, PA numbers 1 and 2. I really do load up after this. I do like the chances of number 1, Colorado Springs, but I feel that for any reason, should she fluff her lines, it becomes a race where many horses have to be considered. So in the event of her unfortunately missing the winner's box, I do think that you have to include the likes of number 2, Miss Orange, 3, Rattle Mouse, 5, Seeking Wisdom, 6, First Street, 7, Meerkat, and number 10, Double Reward. I do think all those horses have got the ability of popping up should Colorado Springs miss a beat. On to race 6, and here leg 4 of my pick 6 will stick with the PA bank of number 1, Global Drummer. He does stand out, and I'm hoping to see him shine again. Champion Juvenile Cup, our listed feature of the afternoon. As I have said, I really think that although a small field, it is a really, really strong field. And as a result, I have actually put the whole field in my pick 6. The horses 1 through 6 will be included in my pick 6. Last leg of the pick 6, race 8 on the day, 1, 8 and 13 definite runners of interest, and added to them I will throw in number 3, Winter Cord, 4, Tiger in the Sun, 7, who is Winter Tango, and number 10, Boxcar, for a little bit of value. As far as the jackpot is concerned, it only differs from the pick 6 in 1 leg, and that is the first leg. So leg 1 of the jackpot, the first jackpot, the pick 6 numbers 2, 3, 4, to them add in numbers 7 and 8. and that is Bad Habit, a newcomer to the Eastern Cape. The yard aren't expecting him to need the run and do say he's putting in some good work, so he could just pop up. Number 8, Torio Lake, might strike one as an outsider, but if you have a look at his runs in this company behind the likes of Viking Moon and World Radar, he actually would not be out of place were he to pop up. The jackpot then follows the same lines as the pick 6 in race 5, all of numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 10. Also goes through to stick with that banker of number 1, Global Drummer, in leg 3 of the jackpot, and rounds up with the field in the feature of the afternoon with all 6 entries going in. That's a run through the jackpot. As far as my best bet and value bet are concerned, I will say that I have rather been caught by 2 best bets as opposed to a best bet and a value bet. And best bet 1 for me will be race 6, number 1, Global Drummer. I do think he's the class on the card this afternoon, and I expect another huge run from him. And another best bet for me would be in race 1, number 5, the Cape Rado de Capo. I do think that he's going to run a big race. So looking forward to our first race meeting in July here in the Eastern Cape. Let's hope it's a lucky one.